Yeah, man. I'm gonna assume your identity. I'm just gonna take his fingerprints and butthole, and I'm like, I'm Billy. Everyone's like, oh, it's Billy.
It's Billy.
Wow,
Hey.
looks just like it's his butthole.
Chief Red Rectum.
Oh my god.
So we here?
Yeah.
We're talking about buttholes again?
Yeah, buddy.
Perfect
Yeah,
for
buddy.
this channel.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Backline Podcast. I am your host, Chief Redbeard, Billy, whatever the hell you want to call me. I've got a couple guys on cam with me today because we are cam girls. What up, boys?
But,
What's up? What's up, Sneeko? Sneeko, what's up? What's up? What's up?
And Swill Bob.
Swill Bob. There we go.
Swill boss.
Swill Bob.
All right, so
Swill
another
Bob here.
episode. Another
Being some hot
episode
content.
of remoteness here. So hopefully you guys
We're losing
enjoyed
it.
the last one.
Getting loopy. Having fever. Just ignore me.
Jesus Christ. All
Stop being
right.
so distracted, Billy.
I want to thank everybody for sharing, commenting, liking any posts that we have put up. Please keep it going. We really, 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 really appreciate it. If you could hit that subscribe button on the YouTubes, and you can follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any of the major platforms out there. Today we got another great show ahead of us. We are going to go over some cloning. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Some YouTube drama and some new music for you guys. Let's get started, boys.
Yeah, so I had a conversation with my coworker, and it was dumb. We were bored.
More shower
It was
thoughts, huh?
Yeah, more shower thoughts, but
Oh,
it's at
fuck.
work, shower thoughts. I wash station, I guess, shower thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah, I posed the question. I was like, hey, the whole cloning concept. If you were to clone yourself, does your clone have your memories of that point up to that point, and then he creates his own, or does he come out as just gigantic dumb baby of yourself? Like, which do you think?
That's a good question. I think it would be a matter
No,
of,
no, it's not a
scientifically
good
speaking.
question. This is maniac thoughts. What is going on? What?
I wash station shower thoughts.
So he's so it's either a clone that's just basically just looks like it's like it's just an
It's
empty
you.
vessel. It's an
It's-
empty vessel, but it's you.
It's you. Now,
Okay.
now the thing is, which do you think it would come out after cloning? Is it you with all your thoughts, or is it you as a giant dumb baby doesn't know anything? You got to teach him everything: how to speak, how to touch and hold things, and walk.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you take this, Billy. What you got for this? What you got?
Well, so I don't know if anybody knows exactly how cloning works. I, for one, do not. It's also, as far as we know, not humanly possible for humans.
Yeah.
I think they've cloned animals in some way.
I've
but-
seen a lot of movies, dude. So
Animals are all
clone-
instinct based.
The thing is your mind, I don't know if your mind is encoded into your DNA. So when you clone, you're typically going to pull DNA from the source that you're cloning. So while it may come out looking like you, and then the other thing is, are they able to clone and make a full human body? If we want to
Yeah.
refer to Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, with that, they actually came out as babies, but they were progressively grown. So a full human could take, I think it was like 5 or 10 years or something, versus the full span of a life to become an adult. So, within a year, I think the baby was 5 years old or something crazy like that.
how do you think the dating scene was on that that campus or whatever with all the clones?
Oh,
They're
it
all
was
guys,
bad.
right?
They were-
Yeah, they're.
Okay, so you would
I
think
know
they
your
would
dick.
they would be like a percentage of them based on odds would be gay, and so are they dating each other? Is that incestual? Is that just that's interesting?
It's
That's a
masturbatory.
conversation I want to have.
It's asexual. You are
masturbatory.
fucking yourself.
Yeah. So are you
Would-
gay? If
Me?
you're fucking
Yes.
yourself?
Yes.
Is touching your own dick gay?
Oh God, here we go. Here we go, dude. Fucking you're giving your
I don't masturbate because that's gay. I don't think girls touch dicks.
It's gay. Dude, you touch your own dick, dude? You fucking what are you doing? You're going to hell, bro.
So, anyways, what would happen is I don't know if there's a way to actually clone the brain itself. So I think what most science fiction or futuristic people think
Tell
is
us,
that
Dr.
there
Billy.
is some way to download that information, to something and then be able to upload that later. So cloning would also involve computers in some sort to be able to download and upload that information. Now,
Just
if you
like
have the
firmware.
upload speeds as me, it
So
may
without
take
the
the full
computer,
18
then-
years to be able to get that cloning and upload
Okay.
information done. But
Thank you,
Okay.
Dr. Professor Beard.
See-
no problem.
Wait
See,
a bit.
when I thought about it, the whole thing came to mind. I was like, oh shit, Michael Bay's movie, The Island, is that concept. They came out as just full-formed adult figures, but they were dumb and they had to teach them everything. So they had like a little reading class where they all have children's books and they're all trying to read.
Was that with Ewan McGregor?
No.
that was Star Wars: Attack of the Clones.
Jude Law.
It was Scarlett Johansson and
Oh yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. Let's watch that right now.
What was it?
Michael
What was the
Clarke
movie
Duncan was
called
in it.
again?
The Island. It's really good.
I've never heard
the
of
whole.
it.
I don't want to spoil it then if you're gonna watch it. It's really good.
I mean, like
it's
20 years old.
Yeah.
No, Ian McGregor is in it with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, he is?
Yep.
Fuck yes.
Ah,
I knew
okay.
it.
Oh yes. Okay.
I saw it once
couldn't
when I
put
was
a face
13.
to it.
So did this came out? So this came out. It looks like. Oh no, that's. What the hell is this? Another
Uh-oh.
The Island.
Yeah,
coming out.
with Leo DiCaprio, I think.
No, this has like. I don't even know who these actors are. This might be a. Fake.
Dude, they
movie.
should make a parody, a porn
Oh,
parody.
it's a Nigerian.
It should be the Penn Island.
The
Get it?
the Penn Island.
The Penn Island.
I'm getting on that right now. I'm gonna get a production crew together.
Tight.
And
tight.
it's all just one line across your chest.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Speaking of Penn Islands, did you guys? I don't know if you guys keep up with you guys keep up with YouTubers. So do you know iDubbbz?
Yeah.
Okay, so iDubbbz is a content creator on YouTube. He's been doing it for a while now. He's more known for his collaborations with Filthy Frank and doing his what is it called? He has like a series called Content Cop, and he'll go, or he used to do this quite a bit a few years ago before the algorithm changed, but he used to go on and just kind of rip apart certain like YouTube channels and just give
When
his
they were like trending and stuff.
yeah, just like point out hypocrisies and just like disingenuous anything really. Just basically if there was like a morality issue, I think he'd go after it in like a really harsh and
I
funny
think
manner.
I've seen something like that where it was someone like donating money to homeless people or something like that, or giving you sandwiches to homeless people or something.
yeah,
dumb.
and he'll call out the scam or whatever's going on, whatever the issue
Yeah.
is, and he goes really hard and it's really funny. So basically there was a lot of like controversial stuff on his channel, but he actually just recently he's getting a lot of backlash because his girlfriend, and this poses a hypothetical for us, iDubbbz's girlfriend, who's well known, I think on YouTube as well, and a streamer, and it's well known that they're together. She just made a fans only account.
Ooh.
You know what that is?
Wait.
Yeah.
Fans only like
It's some. I think it's fans only. Only fans. I think only fans. It's like it's a lot of like sexual content, almost like a webcam, like a cam girl
like
kind of website,
subscribers only maybe.
something like that.
Like
yeah, I mean,
paid
No,
people.
it's
people
called like fans
exclusive?
only or only fans or something. I feel like I've
OnlyFans. I
heard of
can't
it
remember.
before. Yeah,
but
something.
yeah, and she announced that she was making one. And then basically iDubbbz's community, who I don't really
Calling him a cuck probably.
Yeah, they got on him. They attacked him, dude. They called him a simp, which is new. I love the internet, dude. It makes me feel young because like I have to keep up with this verbiage to understand what
These
the fuck is
verbiage,
going
dude.
on in the comments. Like
Yes,
it's
please
like
give us
decoding.
definitions as you go. 'Cause
So SIMP, simp. That's what you call somebody who is a sucker, idolizing mediocre pussy, and that's what they're calling basically anybody who has like a lady on my OnlyFriends, or like people who are on fans only or whatever. Basically, just like giving money to girls for seemingly no reason besides their looks. I'm not really.
The fact that they're a girl.
Yeah, I think it goes really deep. But I'm not. I'm never gonna open.
I mean, there's
that
definitely
can
those kinds of
worms.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I only donate to female streamers or something, or I only watch female streamers.
Yeah, and then so he made a video that actually kind of went at this head on and was like, just saying like, I don't consider myself a simp. I'm trying to remember the basic details. I'm not a simp.
I mean, if
I
you're
don't have
dating-
a problem with my girlfriend on something like that because I'm not
It's what she
concerned
wants to
about
do.
you masturbating to my girlfriend because everyone's masturbating to everybody's girlfriends. But now it's just kind of out there more on the site, whatever.
It's given to you. Here it is.
Yeah, and he doesn't have
You
a
don't have to
problem
imagine
with
it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't have a problem with it. And a lot of his fans are really up in arms about it. I can't really figure out why. I mean, I guess I understand why, because it's like, why would you let your girlfriend do that kind of a thing? But
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a morality issue that
It
some
goes
people
deep.
have.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and we're in a day and age where it's kind of like there's people who date and marry porn stars, whatever, you know.
But
Well,
everyone
it's not even
considers
to this
them.
day.
That's what
That's
they're
been going
into.
on for years. You know,
And
Yeah,
a lot
everyone
of
that's
porn
what I'm
considers
stars are-
them. Everyone considers them like cucks or simps or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I don't. And then of course, I think about it like, okay, in my shoes, would I have a problem with that? And I think it's so tough because I don't think you would actually know until you're in it, unless you really feel one way or another. And to me, I'm a little indifferent about it. But I think overall, I don't know, dude. It's tough for me. What would you guys do if you were in that situation? Would you be okay
For
with
me
it?
personally, I wouldn't. And that's why I wouldn't date them. You know, but if anyone else is into it, I'm not gonna kink shame them or whatever.
Why are you
know?
so
It's like,
insecure, dude? What's wrong with you? You can't let a woman be free.
I don't.
You wanna keep her in a
polygamy
box,
to me
bro?
is
What's wrong with
awful.
you?
Like monogamy is pure. Like that's what it should be and all that. That's just me. It's whatever.
I got you.
Like
Okay,
yeah.
so you're on the
Like,
monogamy train, and
yeah,
that's just the way
I
it
don't
is.
understand polygamy.
Yeah.
It flies over my head. I'm like, I don't understand why you would want multiple partners and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, a simpleton like you wouldn't understand my complex relationship.
Simp
dude.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Billy?
I'm pretty much the same way as Daniel. I don't think I'd be for it.
Just a personal thing.
I don't know.
But
I'm
not
also
against the people.
I'm also married, so I'm
Oh, so
already
you're-
married.
so
So,
you're-
if it turned like I'm already married and then into that, like, you know, it'd be a little weird. Like now it's my wife out there for everybody to see, kind of thing. It's just weird to me.
wife.
My wife.
My wife.
My wife.
You want
Oh,
to
yeah.
have a go at my wife?
So I don't think I'd be for it, but I really do think it comes down to what kind of person you are and your insecurities. Just as much as I may say I'm not insecure,
Yeah.
but I also don't like it. So there could be some kind of line of insecurity there.
New hypothetical. Here we go. Check it out. You never met your wife. It's a alternate universe, right? Different dimension. You're still you with your opinions and thoughts and everything. You meet how do you
Two
put
of the
this?
ones.
Yeah, you meet an alternate version of your wife now, but she's into this. Would that be? And you know it from jump. You know it right when you meet her.
So that poses a question of like, if you're
So she was a
if
swinger.
you're Daniel and you're watching your daily porn and there's your favorite porn star that you like, right? So who, you know, if a guy is watching the porn in some way, that guy wants to bang that porn star that he constantly watches, right? So if you get that opportunity and then you actually like the girl, you may want to marry the girl, right? But she's already been out there exposed to the world in
That would
every
be
fucking
Full disclosure
way.
knowledge right there. But yeah, I would be against it. It'd be like, it'd be cool for friendship if it ever came to that, but I would never date
if
you.
but you had a porn star that you can now bang, like that's your porn star. It's the one you watch every single night.
She's a woman,
I mean-
dude. She's not just a porn star. Can you please open up your mind? I would appreciate that. I'm offended. I'm about to leave, dude.
I think that's where it comes down to, or like, you know, there are some people out there that, you know, have, you know, maybe somebody
now-
has like a cam girl that they constantly go to, and now they
I've
want to have a
never gotten
relationship. Like
into-
they feel as if they're dating, even though the cam girl clearly isn't there dating. She's there to make money. But the guy, you know, in some way, your head may form and say, man, this feels real. This feels like a relationship, and you know, and then what? You know, I think it all depends on what kind of mind you have. Now, I'm personally, I feel like I would be in a way where if I met the girl and, you know, now I just want to bang it out or something, that's what I'm going to do. But I think, again, in my head, like, you've been exposed to the world. It's just not for me. This was fun, but it doesn't go past this kind of thing. I don't
Okay,
know.
so both you guys are sexist pigs. All right, cool. I was
Yeah,
curious as to your positions on that, and you're both
Just want to bang it out. Wham, bam.
closed-minded
things,
trash.
Let's roll.
Yeah, that's cool. No, so do you think like, because I've been honestly a fan of iDubbbz for a long time. I don't idolize YouTubers or anybody that puts out anything on any platform that you can view for the most part. But I am also, you know, 29 going on 30 and feel like I have a pretty fair disposition on morality and where to hold people in regard to, you know, being a fan. And that's all I am with him. I don't think he's a simp for this. He just goes to a level that I think a lot of people can't understand or wrap their
the
heads
thing
around.
is,
That's my
doesn't
opinion.
he just, in my opinion, he jumped the fence of simp. He's dating that person. That's his, not us, you know, like
Yeah, I'm like I
before him
said,
too, you know.
the
Well, he was
definition of
dating.
simp,
He was
whatever,
dating
I
her
don't know.
before
Yeah,
she did
she
all
turned
that.
this,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I don't think that word. I mean, I've even seen here that
it doesn't. It's
H3.
not applicable.
H3.
They're saying that it's probably almost like ironically at this point, but it's like they're saying like why would you let your girl do this, like
correct,
yeah,
or is he an open-minded guy who's got a lack of insecurities that maybe a majority of people
and there's a lot of people out there like that are completely open-minded, married, the whole swinger set of people,
crowd.
They're married, they have from what they say, at least at the time, they have a very, very comfortable relationship. And yet they are able to go on these swinger missions or whatever the hell you call it and openly do other people. And then they come back to their home and they're still happily married, again, according to them.
Do they have
I'm not that
those
person, so
things?
I don't know if that's true, but I feel like it'll break down your marriage because
over time, it's
just going to constantly eat at you. But
that's the thing, like, it'll
don't
tell
know.
over time because I've never heard of, like, a grandparent couple that does that shit, like, that still does it, that exists.
I thought there was a
I've
big
never heard of it.
demographic of old people who do
I'm
that
sure
because
there
they're
is.
on their last
usually
leg.
it's
like
it's
nudist
usually when they're
beaches
in
or nudist colony communities, They're the ones out there. They're nudists, or well, I mean, I guess nudists don't necessarily just go and fuck, but you are walking around naked and shit like that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
sure
was
there's
it
some aspect of
retirement homes or whatever? Not halfway homes.
Huh?
The
Rehabs?
old people homes. No,
Oh,
they're old
nursing
people
homes?
Nursing homes have the big issue with old people just fucking like crazy. That's why there's
Yeah, why
like,
not?
Dude,
Well,
I
their
would
significant
visit.
others are gone, so the nursing homes is normally for that single dad that's left or that single mom.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and the
That's
family
what's
just
known
can't-
for old people.
It's not that either they can't take care of them or they can't provide the level of care that they really need
That they really
to
need.
keep
to-
surviving.
I would
in the
visit
world,
my
so they-
aunt in nursing homes, and like there was always like a few old guys hitting on everything that walked
Oh,
by
yeah.
them. Like my mom, like all the nurses, just like, "How's it going? Hey, hey, how's it going?" Touch. That wasn't like that. That was a terrible impression, but it was along those lines of like, "Wow, you're
Yeah,
going for it
catcalling
right
or
now,
something.
dude. This is impressive."
Yeah, they got nothing else to lose.
Get
They
over
lost
here,
everything else.
beautiful. Come and sit on my lap.
Why don't you sit on Papa's lap there? He's stuck in the 1920s for some reason.
I mean,
Why don't
they
you sit
get
on my lap
prescribed
here,
for
darling?
Viagra and shit,
Bring you to LA and make you a star, see? Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's fine if I'm a very live and let live. I try to be a live and let live kind of person. And I don't see the fucking big deal about this bullshit. It's his life. Who cares?
I think it's just it's a personal preference thing. It's what how you feel, and I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it if that's what you want to do. I mean, I'm not you. I'm not your wife. I'm not your girlfriend. Whatever situation you're in. So I can't dictate what you do. So it's up to you. And I think it
But you
definitely comes
wouldn't
down
do
to an
it.
insecure. I wouldn't do it.
Right,
I
okay.
think it comes down to an insecurity thing, but it's also just like a morality thing.
True. Yeah.
And how
Even
you
standards,
feel about
where
it.
your standards are.
You
Their
know,
morality.
I'm secure. Look, if the wife doesn't like me and she calls me fat, then go on about your life. But I don't think I would ever want that to kind of happen, kind of thing. But
According to my
that's
camera,
me now.
you weigh about 10 pounds, and because I can only see your head, so you're looking good, dude. Looking trim.
That's a tiny brain.
Right.
it's a big ass head, though.
Tiny brain.
Does my
dude.
head look as big this time as it did the last time?
Yeah,
No,
maybe
yeah.
bigger.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Little.
The
Yeah,
mic
you
looks-
guys. I kind of like. Maybe I should try to get a webcam or something like Daniel has, because I do like. I'm on a laptop, so if anybody can't see, which if you're on my cam, obviously you can see I'm on a fucking laptop here. But I'm a foot away from my camera, so whereas you guys are set up at your bigger setups where the camera's way back, and Jesus, all right. And you
Take
kind of
down your
have the
desk.
space to work with that. So if I had to at least set up like Daniel, I'd have my camera and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
it's
you can
whatever.
see what you're going to see in the podcast,
Right.
or the video portion of the podcast, rather.
Round
But
robin.
also my computer doesn't play friendly when I'm recording something or doing something else. So could cause issues anyways where I won't get it as good as you guys.
Speaking of gear, Billy, don't you have some
Oh.
gear? Didn't you get something
I
new, a
was gonna-
plug-in or something?
I was going to mention off this whole sex topic.
Oh, sure.
Good.
there's an artist-
Let's talk more about
there's an-
this.
But
Okay, yeah, well, his name involved sex. His name is Danny Sexbang.
Danny Sexbang.
From Danny Sexbang and the Super Guitar Bros, great musicians, guitarists, released a cover collaboration of Seal's "Kiss from a Rose." Do you guys remember that song?
God.
Yeah.
Kiss from
It's really good.
on the grave. Yeah, that's a great song.
Yep.
Can you link us in the Discord to it?
Yeah, actually, hold on.
Dude, I cried to that song. Oh my god.
During
You
Batman.
cried to that song?
Yeah, I hadn't heard it in like 15 years. And then I listened to it like 4 years ago, and I like got emotional. I was like, Seal, what are you doing to me, Seal? Oh my god, stop. It's a great song, bro. Oh my god, you
My
belt
brother
it out.
absolutely loves it.
Woo! I gotta remember that next
Yeah,
time we're playing Call of Duty.
I think there was a year straight. If I got in my brother's vehicle, he would just start playing the song for like a year fucking straight. And I'm like, dude, what is with you in this song? He's like, it's amazing.
Don't
Wow.
question Seal, bro. It's good stuff.
Don't. It's a great song. Great guitarists. The guitars are in the style of like Emerson, Lake and Palmer. You know, clean, very majestic and
I love
somewhat
this
Celtic.
barn setup that they have.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
so
trying
yeah.
to have.
Super
Okay.
Guitar Brothers are awesome too. They do a lot of video game covers in acoustic.
Okay, so this is a okay. I'm fast forwarding
In
through
the-
this because we can't listen to
Yeah.
this while we're talking.
Yeah, yeah. Because it will be silent. Yeah.
Wow, those are actually some. I listened to the first 27 seconds here. So the guitar does sound really good, and the vocals, man, they just come in and they're fucking great. I gotta
Yeah,
hear the big part though. Does he hit the notes?
Baby.
I don't know, man.
Oh, wow.
This is like
bassy as hell.
this is like one of these songs where like I it's a good cover, but it's like sacrosanct. Like it's like no, you don't.
It
You
has
don't
to be
touch it.
Seal.
You don't touch it. It's Seal. Yeah, exactly. Like you hear a cover. Well, actually, Fall Out Boy did that cover of "Beat It" by Michael Jackson, and that is.
All right.
But I thought it was great, but I never expected a
Wait.
cover of Michael Jackson to sound good.
I like the Alien Ant Farm version
That's
myself.
true too. Yeah,
Well,
you're
they
right.
did Smooth
Yeah, that's
Criminal.
the-
They didn't do Beat It though.
Oh, Smooth Criminal. Yeah, yeah.
Plus,
They
that
did
drummer
Smooth
is a
Criminal.
monster. He
Yeah.
killed that. Considering the drums in the original was so basic, he absolutely murdered
Basic.
it.
Yeah.
I think
That
that's
was a
the
good
best
spin
way
on
to
it.
do a cover is, kind of make it your own and really, really get it to that next level. Not that, obviously, if you're doing a song, it's at the level it needs to be at because you know the song, you like the song, and you like it enough to do a cover of it. But, covering, making your own is pretty fucking tight. But yeah, I do have some gear now to talk about. That's awesome. So,
Gear talk.
what are these guys called again?
Whoa.
Super Guitar Bros?
Yeah, and Danny Sexbang from Game
Danny
Grumps.
Sexbang. So check that out. That's actually a pretty cool cover. So
That was
yeah,
my nickname in high school. Sorry.
so I did get a new plugin lately. So new plugin that is out is a plugin called Amp Root, I believe it's called. Double
Sounds
check
like an
myself
energy
in
drink.
here.
Root.
There's a company out there called ML Sound Lab, and so they have a new amp sim out called Amped. And I think the one I got was Roots. So what it is the YouTuber
Bloody
Fluff,
Roots.
Ryan Fluff Bruce from Riffs, Beards, and Gear. It is his new amp sim plugin from, again, ML Sound Lab. So they're typically known, from what I know them from, they do really, really awesome IRs for your modelers or anything like that. So pretty much every YouTuber I watch, for the most part, a lot of them use ML Sound Labs IRs and really, really like them. So Fluff has come out with a new amp sim. So basically, you can just plug your guitar straight into your interface on your computer, and you now have sounds of awesome amps at your fingertips. So right now, the 5034, which is I believe it's a 5150 copy, but with EL34s in it.
So like
The EL34s being
The
what?
more British sounding kind of amp with the
the
EL34s.
gold-plated 5153.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
But it's a 5034. What was you have a
34.
question?
Okay,
Nico?
right.
Oh yeah, EL34. What's that?
So EL34 is the type of tube that's in the
Okay.
amp. So basically, the tubes I think we talked about it before, but basically, the tubes in your amp
Power
really
amps, yeah.
drive your sound there. And they're the big power section of your amp, and they're what kind of create that sound for you. So most guitars out there, at least myself, and I think probably more than the EL34 side, use tubes called 6L6s.
That's like
and
American,
those are your American
typical.
metal, that real tight metal sounding. Where the EL34s are a little bit,
Higher
think
pitch,
they're a little bit-
busy.
yeah, they're a little bit on the other side. And then they're able to, so it's kind of like a British sound to it. So
Well,
he's got that. So you can actually get that one for free right now. You literally click on it, download it, you're done. And then he has a 5151 Mesa one, and his Friedman, I think it's his Butter Slacks amp. So it's really, really
Nico over here
awesome.
applying his tears of the
The
noob.
laser focus. I was ringing this bell, and I was hoping you would stop and pick it up or something, but you just fucking
Well,
plowed
weird
through that
enough-
shit.
Weird enough, as he was talking, I think he drowned yours out. That your
hear-
ring wouldn't come through.
There's
Clearly.
no way, dude. I was gonna say I ring this bell when I'm fucking lost as shit. That's the bell of truth, bro. Because like I'm trying to follow and I'm interested, but I'm not gonna lie if I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I understand. No, I'm like, okay,
So what part didn't you understand?
I
What can I
understand
do to help you?
the tubes inside the amp
So
basically
tubes,
real quick. The tubes inside the amp basically can alter the sound and the tone and the quality of basically your overall sound.
Correct.
Yeah, your analog signal has to travel through this circuitry, and that circuitries with tubing and stuff like that applies a flavor tone to that, outcome as it goes past it.
And so
Whereas
when
you have a specific sound, the tubes flavor it to the fullest. So depending on what tubes you have, really is going to be the sounds you have. Realistically,
And also, depending on the temperature of the tubes, how hard they're being used, how much voltage is applied to them, changes the sounds too. So
Right.
your play style, how
so a lot
loud
of
you
those
turn it up.
amps, like a tube amp, you can't play quiet because it's just going to sound like shit. The tubes are not getting enough drive behind them. So typically, when you're playing with a tube amp, you have to turn it up quite a bit to start getting what they call the speaker breakup kind of sound there. And what that really does is that's you actually cranking those tubes to really drive the sound through those speakers. And the hotter they get, the better they sound. So anybody with a tube
Warmer.
amp is going to typically turn that tube amp on. Probably, like I used to turn mine on, when we practice or something. I turned it on at least 15 minutes before we really started. We walk in the room, I'm turning on that amp
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
just
like
getting
a
it on
car, you gotta warm
standby
it
and
up.
getting it ready. Exactly. You gotta warm it up, and then the same way going back the other way, you gotta let it cool
Let
down,
it cool
because if not,
down.
you just de-juice the shit out of those tubes. Let it cool down a bit,
Okay.
and then shut your amp off.
And so now I'm
they
learning,
really
which is
color
awesome.
your tone.
Okay,
Huh?
and that's why I'm learning, which is awesome, and so that's why people are leaning more towards these real life emulators.
Right, so
Yeah,
they,
I
they
mean,
sound
think about
really,
our-
really close to them
Okay.
without having to have a $2,500 heavy-ass amp in front of you.
And think of our practice sessions back in the day when we had these ridiculously over-watted amps in garages and stuff, 100 watts. To get that sound out properly, we had to be so loud.
Oh, yeah.
You probably got annoyed,
Dude,
and
in the
it's like,
storage
but I
unit,
sound terrible if I don't.
With
yeah.
all our equipment set up in the storage unit, we were lucky that we had one outlet that they gave us for some reason, and the lights were always
wow.
flickering, and it was
Wow.
it was
Because you were
really
using
funny.
so much power.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
so now you could even just show up to practice with your laptop as long as you got a PA and plug into the PA, and you're set.
we
You
tried
play
to
your
do
sound, it's in there.
We try to do in-ear practices where there was no live sound coming out of any speakers, but we had our mixer and our in-ear monitors, and we tried playing that way, and we hated it.
Really?
Yeah.
It just didn't. It doesn't feel like, even at shows,
Because you don't have air.
There's nothing
coming out of the
coming
cabinets.
toward, like you.
Right.
Music is also physical, in my opinion, anyways. Like a
For
live
sure.
show is like a physical thing too, and when you don't have that, it's so bizarre. Even to this day, I like my in-ear monitors, but I almost want to just like get a little monitor for me, just a little. What is it called?
Like a little stage wedge monitor.
Yeah, I'm lost. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah.
Don't rig it on yourself.
I just want to get like a speaker monitor just because it just feels better sometimes, but I do, it's hard to go backwards. It's really tough. So the trade-off is there, but,
Yeah, there's
a
a lot of purists out there that don't want to switch,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think
It's usually the people who can afford to maintain it.
that too. Or
They
so
have-
for
they can
example,
play it any time of the day. They have a studio area or something for
True.
it.
there are a lot of
treated
bands out
rooms.
there touring with your more famous amp modelers, the Line 6 Helix products, the Axe-FXs, or the Kempers. Those are the big three out there. And a lot of people tour with those because they're consistent. They're not, you're not damaging the tubes or anything from a hot and cold scenario where you've got water and stuff, moisture building up on your equipment. So the hope is you go out there and you have a consistent show every night, and it also saves your back. But there are bands like, Mark Tremonti of Alter Bridge, he's still touring with his big ass amps, but he's also got, they've got the road crew, they've got the roadies, everyone there to be able to kind of do those kind of things and move that equipment for them, take care of it. Hopefully, if the shit breaks down, I'll go get another one, or I can retube this.
He's also
quick,
a signature artist, so
yeah, he's a signature artist. So it could get expensive, but now you get these sounds. Like I said, the 5034 is free. To get that sound, and I tried it out. It's on a track that I did that I showed you guys, and it actually sounded really, really good. I was very, very impressed with it. I think the rest of the amps here, if you buy the full license, it's another $60, give or take, because it's in some weird. I think they're from somewhere overseas. But with the 5151, the Mesa, and the Friedman, those about $60 or $66 US, I think, to be able to get the rest of them. So for $66, you have 4 amps at your fingertips. And that's really all you need. And there is a noise gate in there, a noise gate pedal that you can dial in, and an overdrive that you would typically put in the front of the amp to really tighten up your tone. That's all built into the amp sim. It's a very, very clean, simplistic layout for the plugin. So most of these plugins, what happens is you open them up and you can change so many things. You can change your transformers out. Some of them you can change the tube. So if you don't like the L34s, you can go back to the 6L6s. You change the biasing and your all these different things that you can change. This one, you got an amp head. You just swap them out and EQ them as you need. So it's really, really simple. And for $66, you have some of the more common amps that you've heard on most of your favorite metal albums out there at your fingertips. Now, there are some out there that people are going to like better than these. Or I like my Kemper that's at my fingertips as well. But I was very, very impressed with how they turned out and how they sounded. I didn't think they would be all that great. So, but they were actually pretty good. I haven't tried the other ones yet, but I imagine if the 5034 that obviously I'm not a big EL34 fan. If it sounded that good, I bet the other ones sound fantastic. So
I agree.
Pretty cool new product.
Yeah,
you agree?
I like it. I like it a lot. EL 66. What do you think, Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I've been messing with a lot of my stuff still on my presets and all that, and I'm still getting great sounds out of it. I'm not ready to jump off the
on
amps
his
yet
Kemper.
that I have
on my Kemper.
Yeah. So it sounds cool, but I'm still exploring almost stock. I think I'm not sure if the 5150 I'm using from the Kemper is from the Dead Sound Studio or whatever, Dead Light Studio.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember the base of it. I think I'm still using that 5150, but I might be using Will Putney's maybe.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I have to check, but I'm still exploring on that. So
the cool thing with all of these, there's so many people that will do presets for you, or the Kempers and the Axe Effects and the Helix. You can download all kinds of different sounds. And again, I've got probably $100,000 of amps sitting in my Kemper right now, but I didn't obviously spend $100,000 on my Kemper. It was a lot cheaper.
I'm loving the fact that we can get Morgan on there.
Yeah, I mean, just these beautiful sounding amps, and then you can run them through cabs and stuff like that, so you get that physical feel, because that's where the disconnect typically happens. But yeah, that's awesome. I would at least try it, Daniel. It's something for free again that you can at least download the 5034. It's just something cool that you could just kind of plug in. You don't have to start the Kemper, even though it takes 2 seconds. But something cool out there. But that was one of the big ones for the week. I was pretty happy to be able to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Nico, you got something?
I do, but did we want to get into the album review, or should we wait?
Oh, okay. What do you guys for later?
What?
I said what you got is for later.
Yeah. I mean, we could. I mean, I don't. It's that's a real minute thing, but I think the album.
I say we let the people wait on the album review.
All right, that's cool.
I've got another thing. If you guys want me to,
go ahead
and talk. One thing I've been trying to get across, I thought it was really cool, and I'll see if I can't link you guys to it. But Ernie Ball has recently come out with a new pedal, sort of. So what it is it is actually a tuner and a volume pedal in one, and it's a little weird. So for Daniel, I might want to get your take on this. So the pedal itself is, so it's a volume pedal with the tuner at the top. However,
Like
it's like
at the top of the foot pedal,
where your foot goes on. So I'm gonna link you guys here.
like at the toe, not the heel screening, I guess,
No, like where the ball of your foot would be.
is where the tuner is.
Is the
Correct.
ball of your foot the front or the back, bro? I always
It's
get
in the
confused.
middle, right?
Or
The arch,
What?
rather. Okay,
What kind
yeah,
of
the
foot you
arch of
got?
your foot. Sorry.
The arch.
the ball is that's right. It's right below your toes.
Ah, you're right. Yep. Okay, got it. Balls, Ernie balls, ball of the heels,
balls.
ball to the ball, the bang, the bang, big, big.
Yeah, so it's really weird, and it's also touchscreen. So
Whoa.
I'm just trying to think of who in the
So
middle of
barefoot
a
guitar
show,
playing.
right? Who in the middle of a show is going to go down and hit the touchscreen on this thing?
That's weird.
I'm trying to
Oh.
send the link to you guys now.
On a
Okay,
foot
yeah.
pedal.
I did see a video on this, and yeah, the touchscreen portion of it doesn't make sense, and it was for applying a sliding volume effect, right? Like you can
This is stupid.
turn it up and down with a touchscreen feature to it.
So I think one of the things you can change the pitch. So if you don't normally
Like a
tune to like a
whammy
440 hertz, no, like the pitch of your tuning.
This looks stupid as shit, dude. This doesn't make any sense to me. Can you maybe?
So the pitch. So most of us are going to tune to 440 hertz at a standard tuning.
The slide
And
would
then you can change the
frequency.
pitch, the frequency. Correct. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm not
Frequency
worried.
of that.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the functionality of it. It's like, yeah, it's got a
you're slamming
touch
your
screen
foot
on it. It is a foot
on your
pedal.
phone.
And typically with foot pedals, as everybody, well, you guys, I don't know. I'm a drummer. I hit wood.
Stomping on the
I
shit.
hit wood things. Yeah, it's just you're using your foot because you're playing with your fucking hands. It seems like they just decided. It seems almost like, what's going on, dude? What is this? Can you guys could this? You guys have played. What do you do? How do you even use this bullshit?
The key thing is, I think you're not doing this mid song usually to change these settings with a touchscreen.
Okay.
So you in the middle of a song, you would get down, mess with cables, touch the screen where you want it to change a frequency or something.
Nobody's changing the frequency in the middle of a fucking set, though. That's the
If
thing.
you wanted to, half tune or something, for the next song.
Yeah, I think it's just weird. I mean, so Ernie
Yeah,
Ball's
it's impractical,
Ernie
really.
Ernie Ball, their practicality of it was, let's put two pedals in one. Let's put a tuner that, from what I've seen on videos, the tuner is actually a pretty good tuner. Because it is important to be accurate when
yeah,
tuning your instrument.
The
and
tuning in it sounds nice. The touchscreen doesn't make sense.
Right, and then the volume pedal there, I see this thing getting fucked up. I mean, I've got a wah
dude.
pedal that I barely have used, but it still looks like shit just because my foot has
It's
been
like
on
applying
it. Right?
my phone to a board and being like, yeah, I could control my guitar with this thing as I stomp on it.
It can also be used as a master or gain control to your pedal rig and has 18 volts of headroom, so you could actually plug some pedals into it in and
daisy
out
chain.
and daisy chain with it. There's also an effects loop on it. Like, it's cool. It's $200 fucking dollars. Like, if you're playing guitar now, if you're starting out, perfect. Get yourself your guitar pedal tuner volume pedal, right? But if you're
I
not
wouldn't even
starting
recommend
out,
it for
you've
starting
got
out.
but, well, it's all in one, So you got this whole little setup. I don't think it's bad, but like if you're already playing guitar,
at
you've
$200,
got.
that's pricey. You can buy
Okay,
those
yeah, I
cheap
guess
tuners
if you're
for like
fresh
$10.
on it, correct. All right, so I guess that makes sense. But like, if you're already playing though, you've already got a tuner. You may already have a volume pedal. It really all depends there. I don't see that. That seems unnecessary to me, but
Maybe they're
it's a
marketing.
cool little product. It looks awesome. Don't get me wrong. It looks awesome. It comes in a multitude of colors. You can pretty much get it from any of your favorite shops. The one cool thing that I like though is when you're doing the volume, it tells you what level you're at. So if you typically want to be at
okay,
a
that's what
5
that
or
was,
something,
okay.
so that I actually just noticed that. So I don't want to talk too much shit about it. That is cool because if you have some type of setting that, when I'm at this volume, this is the way I like the guitar to sound at 4. So if you're at 4, you'll always hit 4 because the numbers are there. Now, granted, it's underneath your foot, so you have to lift up your foot to check it. So that part's
That
kind of
sucks.
stupid. But it is there, and it tells you you're at full volume, you're not at full volume. Some people,
All
so
right.
if you're playing on stage, right, and you've got a volume pedal and you think you went all the way up, you're ready to play, and then you look at the
Yeah.
pedal and it says 8, and you're not all the way up, and you're wondering where's your lack of tone coming from, the pedal could help. So There's some cool
I don't know.
features to it, but it's $200 for just useless shit. Honestly, I'd rather just buy a
think
volume
if they-
pedal and keep my tuning.
I don't know what the touchscreen's for. Lose that. If they put the panel, the LCD screen, like the whammy pedal that the Digitech made, where it's
to the
a
side, but
whammy-
that's a big pedal
to
though.
the
That's the
side.
problem. So
Yeah,
the
but I
drop
mean,
pedal,
it-
that's instead of just a small form factor pedal, you now have this giant wide thing that you got to carry around everywhere. This fits
Yeah,
a
I
hell of a
don't
lot
know.
better
I
on
mean-
a pedal board for you.
But like you said, like you changing on the fly, you'd have to change it. There's your foot. Oh no, that's not right. Oh no, that's still not right.
If that's the application that you're going
for,
for, then what you're saying would actually work. Put your little screen over there, make it better there. But
you can actually see that on the fly, like boom,
right,
5, let
but-
go.
in general purposes, I wouldn't want that bigger pedal. It's one of the reasons why I never picked up something like that. It's just kind of too big, You got a volume pedal and then a book all in one. So, but yeah, a little piece of gear there that I just wanted to kind of go over and talk about. But it's cool, but it's fucking stupid all at the same time, if you ask me. But
Impractical, really.
oh,
Chew.
bless you.
Bless. Hell.
Thanks.
That's
It's for all the guitar playing chimpanzees out there, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I got on it. That's awesome. Yeah, if you guys click on that link that I sent, now there's
Sure.
in my boredom of being stuck at home, I got into. I didn't get
Oh,
into
fuck
it.
yeah.
I was watching a Cinemassacre video on YouTube, and he went into Chex Quest, this old game.
Play that shit years
Right,
ago.
dude. And Chex, what is it called? What is the cereal? Is it just Chex?
Chex Mix.
Chex.
Yeah.
The cereal,
No, it's
though.
called
Or,
Chex.
sorry,
It-
Chex.
just
Yeah.
Check it out.
Check.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
With
Check.
the cereal,
What?
Jesus, with the cereal checks, they used to send out free, like a CD back in the day,
Yeah.
and it had this video game they made, Chex Quest, and it was after Doom came out, so it's exactly like Doom.
It's the Doom
but
engine.
you're this Chex. I'll put a picture in the video, but it's like you're this guy who's in like a Chex outfit with like blue spandex on, and you're not using guns necessarily, and you're fighting aliens, just like slime
Yeah,
aliens.
like a laser beam remote.
It's
or something.
something, yeah. It's like it doesn't kill. It's supposed to be a family-friendly first-person shooter, and it technically is because he's not using guns. He's using these weird,
It's not blood.
weird weapons. Yeah, exactly. It's like teleports them away or something. I'm not sure about it, but as soon as I
Phases
saw
them.
that video, I had a nostalgia trip, and I was like, all right, I need to play this game like right now. And of course, I don't. You're not going to find the CD unless it's on eBay and it's probably broken, or I'm not doing that.
But you could probably emulate it.
Exactly. So I got into DOS emulators, and because
Oh, God.
you can't. Yeah, it's
That's right. It's old. It's old.
a
yeah.
little pain in the butt. Yeah. So you get the DOS emulator. It's just like every other emulator on your computer that you use
You
for
gotta
old
boot
video
up your
games.
boot CD drive
gotta-
and then
You got to mount
turn on
it.
your speakers.
Yeah, you got to mount it to the C drive, and it's it's like a couple lines that you have to manually put in. But once you do it, it's easy. You just run the exe file, and you're good to go. And I was playing it, and yeah, it holds up quite a bit. Because I used to play this when I was a kid. So if you're bored, I'll put a link in the description to the download. And yeah, it's DOS emulator. Or if you don't want to do all that crap because it's a pain in the butt, you don't want to get into the weeds of like computers. There's plenty of websites. If you just look up Chex Quest browser, you could play it through your browser.
Oh, yeah.
It's much easier that way.
Interesting you brought up the Doom engine. Recently, I've been playing Sonic Roboblast 2, and that's a PC game made by just fans of Sonic.
Huh.
And it's all based
Sonic
in the
the
Doom
Hedgehog
engine.
or Sonic the
Yeah.
Restaurant?
No, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
It's just a fan-made game that came out years
They have
ago.
hot
and,
dogs?
I finally, yes,
right.
chili dogs actually.
Got it.
But it's free. Sonic Roboblast 2, running on the Doom engine, and it's the way it controls. It's actually really good for, like you know how Doom is. It's sprite based, but it's 3D, but it's not technically 3D.
Right.
I don't know if you know much about the Doom engine. It's
No.
actually all 2D, just emulated into a 3D space.
That's the look it has. Okay.
Yep, yeah. So it's for real. Like that's why it was so revolutionary. Was that you didn't actually have to know what you're doing in 3D. You just program everything like you would in 2D. It just the
So,
engine makes it look
Instead
3D.
of this, you turn it, right?
Yeah, that would be the animation of the sprite you would draw as they turn. Like
They're
if you watch
flat,
creatures turn,
but they're in front
yeah,
of you
they're
going back
flat.
and forth. Okay, that's interesting. I never even thought about
Yeah,
that.
but that was the same concept with this Sonic Roboblast 2. They just added 2D sprites, just change angles on where you're looking.
So, and you're playing
third-person
Sonic,
camera.
so instead of left to right, you're going forwards now?
You're going anywhere. A 3D,
Is it first person or third person? Sorry.
It's third-person camera
That's
behind
cool.
Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't do up and down. It doesn't do a yaw or anything. It's just left and right.
You said it was called Sonic Furry Blast. What was it?
Yes. Sonic Robo Blast 2.
Robo Blast. All right,
Furries.
misheard you, dude.
So I want to say something real quick. So I'm on the website for this fucking guitar pedal.
There we go.
And
the
this
Larry
guy,
Ball?
first of all, walks from behind for some reason this tiny combo amp, so you can see every bit of him. He whips around the cord, plugs it into his guitar, and then takes his big ass work boots to stomp on the pedal to fucking turn it up. Like, come on, man. This is the worst application for this thing ever. And how cool he thinks he is. Just, I wish you could
I
actually
see
hear what
him.
he's fucking playing.
Is it? He's on
Watch
a
him.
music
He
man?
whips
Yeah.
it like, oh, I'm so fucking badass. Watch me stomp.
on his Ernie Ball cutlass.
Yeah,
Music man
it's
cutlass.
fucking 25
Stomping in his Doc
$3,000
Martens.
guitar, and I'm gonna kill it here.
I like how it's
sorry, I
showing him
was
touching the
distracted
pedal
by
and
that.
then
It's just
yeah.
more video game news. I don't know if this has happened to Nico yet, but I do want to say that Tuesday night, I finally won my first Warzone thing, and it was awesome.
Nice.
In Call of Duty. So got really lucky. Nico was super fucking clutch, and me and my brother were dead. He bought us back. We landed on top of what is Stadium, if you are familiar with the game. And the game ended in the middle of Stadium, which means the people that were outside and didn't die and could land, they couldn't survive. So me and my brother just ran around the top of Stadium, killed whoever they brought back, and ended up winning the game for us. So it was
a pretty cheesy way to win though, because
I was gonna say, that doesn't sound
kept,
epic.
dude, we're not good. We kept going down, and so we're just reviving each other. And then because the circle, luckily, the only reason we won because it was on Stadium, because we would parachute,
circle was
we would
in your
get
favor.
redeployed, and we would get on top of the stadium. But the people who are good, who have not had to redeploy because they're not dying, they're inside the stadium because there's no way to get on top unless you redeploy. So we cheesed it. But I mean, there were some clutch moments. But yeah, Warzone.
To be fair, though, when you did that, we were one of 4 teams left. So we were on our way, and up to the point where we got to Stadium, I think Josh was the only one that died, if I remember correctly. And you and I kept going. We had a couple sniper setups. Like, it was fucking perfect. Got up there. But as soon as we got up there, we ran across the field and got absolutely ate the fuck up by bullets. But other than that, I thought we played a really, really good game, and I don't think we'll ever do it again. But it was fun. And it was awesome to actually win one. Normally, we finished about 10th place out of like 50-something
normally
teams.
we get wiped immediately. What are you talking about?
Wiped immediately, 21st or like 10th.
Yeah, and that's
So I
because
guess 10th is our good game.
that's
like
because
we're happy
we
with 10th
land
place.
like out in bumfuck and we're collecting shit for 20 minutes, and then we get sniped as soon as we get around players, and we're like, oh, that was about 25 minutes of us
As the
looting.
circle closes and you have to run.
Yeah, it is. It's very similar. It's with the Call of Duty mechanics and graphics, but it is very, very similar to PUBG. I get a big feel of that. At least, like
Was it just
military
as
is going
laggy
to
as
be.
PUBG?
Huh?
Was it just as laggy as PUBG
No,
was?
it's actually. I mean, to me, it's pretty smooth.
It's very smooth.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So when you get it, you can play with us. But
Yeah, once you
anyways,
get,
huh?
oh, what? Huh? What?
What?
Huh? I was gonna ask
Yeah,
why Daniel
also-
hasn't gotten it. It's free.
What?
Warzone's free. You could download Call of Duty Warzone and play the Battle Royale for free.
Oh, that's true.
Didn't know that.
Hey.
Okay. Well, I was like, I'm
Do
not
it.
buying
It'll
anything.
only be
Do it.
400 gigabytes, I promise.
Ugh.
No, I'm kidding.
I don't think it's that bad. I
Their
think it's
download
like
files are
18.
massive, though. For
Yeah,
the
they
overall
are.
game, it's like over 200 now.
The only thing is I'm buying it only on, or not buying, downloading it on PC.
You're
Whatever.
What? Okay,
you can
fine.
still play with us. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it's crossplay.
Crossplay has to be enabled.
Battle chat, we're good, dude.
So I saw something cool recently that I'm kind of mad. Moving on to slightly sadder times. We're not going to get into it this week because we're going to stay positive and happy. But due to all the stuff going on, man. So Killswitch has been playing shows, right? And at these shows, Howard Jones. If you're familiar with Killswitch, Howard Jones was the previous singer. Now Jesse, their previous singer, is
original.
back. The original is now leading vocals again. But I have been seeing shows pop up so much with Howard Jones playing with them. And his big one to do is End of
Without
Heartache.
Jesse?
No, Jesse's still there. But
Wow.
Howard Jones comes out and does basically like a cameo for these songs. He'll do all of End of Heartache, and then for either a new album or it was just a single, they did this song called Stay Fire or some shit like that. I don't know. It's some generic title as Jesse would come up with. And Howard is a guest feature on that. So they'll do End of Heartache, and then they'll go into that next song where Jesse comes back on stage, rejoins them, and then they do both songs. And it's just awesome, nostalgic. I really, really like it. And now I just wish this shit would fucking end so Killswitch can do a tour, and hopefully Howard is either playing, because I think what they do is they try to, whatever band Howard's a part of, they try to bring them out, and then they can go ahead and have them up there, because then people lose their fucking minds, and people
that makes more
buy
sense.
more tickets to see Killswitch when they expect Howard to be there. So it's really, really awesome. When it comes to Killswitch, it doesn't seem like he's lost his touch. Any of his other projects after the fact of Killswitch, I have not been a fan of, especially his vocals. But it's been awesome to see it. I'm hoping that at some point we could do that. But how do you guys feel about something like that? I know, Daniel, you listen to Killswitch at least with us. I think you went to a show, or is that the one that you missed? Or
No, I saw them with Dillinger. I don't know if you were at that show or not.
now I'm wondering if I was at that show. Yeah, exactly.
Because who was it? I think Howard was leaning off the balcony up on the stage in 930 Club, and the Dillinger Escape Plan
The
singer
9:30 show.
turned around.
Yeah,
He's like,
we
"Oh,
all went
wait."
to that.
Okay, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the one where your sister, I don't know if you were in the car with her, but your sister was in the car with, I think, Travis, and they did like a spin out on the exit.
Yes, on an exit. Yes, did a 360 and then maintained course.
Oh my
Did
God.
not
I was
Didn't crash.
following Travis. So Travis is
bald tires.
ball tire. So Travis is in front of me. I'm behind Travis, and I want to say, no, this was a different one, or this could have been. There was an exit that we
I
hit.
thought that was a battle of the bands or something.
I don't know. Maybe it was, but either way, this story, there was an exit that we hit, and Travis is like flying, realizes it's slick, gets on the brakes, and the car just starts
Raining.
spinning on the exit ramp.
Oh, jeez.
And all you see was just Daniel's sister's hands just go up, and she's holding on to the roof for
Holding the
dear
roof?
fucking life.
Oh, no.
And the car stops spinning, and they just keep on going.
Oh, my God.
And
was
the
crazy.
funniest part is I remember I was in there sitting in the back, and I could see, as we spun, I could see Billy's face, and then
Oh yeah,
spinning
because
away.
I'm about to hit them, and I'm like, "What the hell are you guys doing? Why are you going so fast?"
Dude, circle pit, bro. Get in it.
Circle pit before we even get to the show.
What are you doing?
Donut pit.
Getting
What are you talking about?
So Daniel, you were talking about some new music came out.
Oh,
What you been listening to?
That was the Danny Sexbank stuff.
Oh, that new music. Okay. Well, I've got
Yeah.
some. I thought there was more. I've got some new music. So some bands. So this recording is done on a Saturday. So yesterday on Friday, some bands had dropped some new music. Testament. I know everybody was
Holy crap.
really looking forward to that.
I
What?
didn't know they were still
A
around.
band called Conforza dropped a new album.
Huh?
August Burns Red dropped a new album
they
called
were still
Guardians.
Okay.
Worm, I think is how you say this. WVRM.
Yeah.
Worm.
Yeah.
Very.
Reverm. Conforza. Okay. Pure Reason Revolution. Whoever that is, dropped a new album. We talked about the Testament one. Tima. That is it's called Necroscape. So that'll probably be right up your alley, Daniel.
Thema. Must be
And
Italian.
I think that's it, but
Testament's old. I can't imagine they'd.
that is weird.
anything
and
fast.
I want to say some of
They're
them
never
got the
fast, really, but-
virus or something. I'm not sure.
Huh?
So a lot of new music. It just basically overall a lot of new music dropped yesterday. So if you like any of the bands that I named, you'll be able to go check that stuff out. I think the only one I might be interested in hearing is the August Burns Red one. And it looks like their new video is like a comic book video. Looks kind of cool. But yeah, so new music there. And then also with some bands out there, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Five Finger Death Punch members are offering kids free lessons during this time. So there's actually quite a extensive list of people out there. So they're trying to come up with it. And if you want to apply for the the lessons, you just have to go to the foundation website, which is I can't even say this. We will link it in the description though. But it's a youth music foundation website, and you can apply. The kids can to be able to get those free lessons. So just keeping up. We're trying to get the kids involved in music in some way. They can go on and.
Is it like one-on-one sessions or like
That's
video?
what it kind of looks like. One-on-one
Holy crap,
kind
that'd
of
be awesome.
lessons. Yeah.
Where Dave Mustaine could be like, "Kid, stop, slow down, just listen to me here for a minute."
Yeah. Let me go back. So, David and I were brainstorming on ways to help back during the epidemic. The mission is foundation and try to help music stay in schools. There's a lot of issues with that.
Yeah, music programs are dying.
Yeah, so pretty much just trying to get it in there. Let's see. There's quite a bit of people lined up. It's not just those bands. It's Alice Cooper, Nita Strauss, and Jimmy DeGrasso is doing it. Trying to see. Seven Dust, Clint Lowry is doing it. Bleeding Through's Brandon Schiepetti. I think I said that
I didn't know they were still around.
Suicidal Tendencies, Radias. So they may not be around, but they may just be, offering this free
mentioning
lesson.
who they came from.
So I imagine if you have to apply and you have to do all this stuff, I imagine it's going to be in some form of ways, one-on-one. Probably like a
Or does it
Skype
just
type
give you
lesson.
access?
What's the age restriction? Can I sign up?
I don't think you'll fall into that. So it says for kids. Last time I checked, you were a 30-year-old adult.
No, I'm 29. First of all, don't round me up, dude. I don't appreciate that. And
Kids love it though.
Yeah.
So you're not a kid.
I have a childlike mind. Come on.
Daniel, do you know who Andrew Levy is?
That sounds really familiar. Levy.
Yep. Don't look him up. Don't
No,
look him up.
I'm trying to. No, I'm not. I'm just.
What are you staring at? There's a
the wall.
monitor over there.
He's trying to think. He's trying to manifest it.
Yeah. No, I can't remember who he's from. Or
So,
what band?
Nico, you're going to love this. He is the bassist of Acid Jazz Legends, Brand New Heavies. I actually saw for the first time ever in my life something about acid jazz outside of this podcast. So I wanted to bring that up. But looks like an article on some acid jazz
Yeah,
guys.
let's talk about
so-
acid jazz. Here we go.
Yeah. Got some acid.
Yeah, I'm excited.
But this guy basically gives you takes on questions of longevity gear and how brass can age a song. We got saying brass instruments. So an article on this guy, if you know who he is, but I thought it was just really kind of funny and weird that I finally saw acid jazz outside of the podcast.
I'm
because I
upset
had
you
never
brought that
heard
up.
of it.
I was trying to forget about that shit.
Oh shit. Acid jazz.
No.
Acid jazz.
Daniel brought that up a few episodes ago, and me and Billy were very confused. We were like, why are you making up genres? Why are you doing this to us? I don't understand. But apparently, it's becoming more and more real, and I'm not happy about it. But yeah, there we are.
Because you thought you knew everything.
No, I didn't think I knew everything. I assumed something like the words acid and jazz. Well, maybe they go together. I guess if you were on acid, playing or
I
listening,
mean,
to
you
jazz would be
just
fun.
listen to it once, and then you go, okay. It could be called whatever the fuck it wants because I don't like it.
Fair enough. I'm just not terribly interested in it unless it's.
It's a nice blanket term for just noise.
I can't
Just-
even.
I mean,
I can't even really listen to jazz.
there's literally a song by an acid jazz artist that is him, like just seizing, like having a seizure on guitar and just not holding notes or
But
nothing.
see,
He's just
that's one of those
scraping and
things.
shit.
It's the same.
That's
so
acid jazz.
I know you hated it the last time, but that's the same. Now we're into it. Here we go. Let's go.
No.
So that's the same thing to me, and you can call it what you wanted or get mad at me. That's the same thing as like an actual painting artist. Just
Yeah,
splashing
exactly.
paint on a fucking
Yeah.
thing, and then people
Modern
lose
art.
their minds and call it art. That's not art. There
Pay
was no
millions of
thought
dollars.
put into that. There's no thought, and then people that seize or do something
Beauty
like
is
that.
in the eye of the beholder,
That's
Billy.
the same thing as a person doing a push-up contest and they fucking look like they were fucking flopping on the ground and they won a push-up contest because they're flopping. Like, it just doesn't make any
No,
sense.
you're talking about like giving out medals for participation and shit. That's not
What? No.
so like the same thing.
No, but that
no,
person.
that would be them winning. But what I'm saying is, like, you can't can't call this stuff art. Like if that's art, it's not for the sober-minded.
Yeah,
I
but
guess,
they would.
because
They
it just
would.
doesn't make any
The
sense.
fans of that and people who push that would counter with, you just don't. You're not open-minded enough. You're not.
Yeah,
this.
you don't know what
You
art is.
don't know
really.
what art is. That's what they would counter with. And there's not even a real argument against it, and that's why it's kind of a thing. I guess I don't know.
I don't.
I mean, there's not really an art form to push-ups. There's,
No, I'm
push-up's
just
a
saying like
dead set
that's the
thing.
same. It's not. I'm not calling push-ups art. I'm just saying,
I am.
this guy just did 200 push-ups in a minute, but in reality, he didn't because he just had a seizure. It's I just don't
flopped on
get
the
it.
ground.
Like, there's nothing happening there.
I don't really understand that correlation.
I don't want to say that you have to have, superb talent to be liked, or for people to really like what you do. If you have a feeling or something behind it, art should take, in any form, should have some kind of feeling behind it, or you really
you say
put
that, but
your
then
time
there's a
and
modern
effort
artist
into
who
it.
literally pukes paint on a canvas.
That's what I'm saying.
That is,
That's stupid. That's the same thing as you're saying this acid jazz stuff is, and I don't get it. Like, why would anybody like that?
That's him putting his raw
Why
emotions
does
and
that get its
bile
own
into his art.
genre? I don't get it. Let's talk about some good music. Did you
It's
guys have anything
pompous.
else that you guys
It's
wanted to
arrogant.
talk about?
Billy is trying desperately to transition the shit out of this.
Hey, that's just it, though. It's bizarre. You just have to accept it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't.
well, I won't.
It's
I'm
out there,
sorry,
it
Nico.
exists.
Now that we're both on this page, I won't bring it up again.
No, I
Just
like
thought it was
it.
weird.
I like
You
it.
pissed yourself
Nah,
off, Billy.
yeah,
You
what are
did
you
it to
talking
yourself.
about? Yeah, dude, we weren't even arguing.
You did it to yourself, dude.
Fuck this shit.
You're like,
Fuck
watch
me.
this.
Fucking idiots.
I put a bucket of shit
It's
above
not
the
even
door. Watch him
music.
as he opens it, and you go, "Oh, yeah, I gotta get in there."
Fucking decent.
Did you guys have anything else that you want to get into today?
I guess real quick, I've been watching this YouTuber that I found hilarious in his like improv skill in a way, like, or not. I don't know. It's a weird video game improv comedy thing going on. The channel's called Wayne Radio TV. It's a
Wayne Radio
Twitch
TV.
streamer. One word. Wayne WayNER, and then radio NER. But he does Half-Life in VR gameplay.
Okay.
But the theme of it is the AI is self-aware, but he actually got people who sound just like the NPCs of Half-Life 1 to play as characters just being NPCs, but they talk with them and stuff like that, and it's just hilarious. Like, the
How
crap
do
they
you
get
have
into.
NPCs be self-aware?
That's the thing. They're people, but they sound just like the voice actors in the game. So
This
so
is
the thing
fucking
is that-
hilarious, by the way. It's like, can I see your passport? And then he goes up to another NPC and goes, he doesn't have his passport. And the guy's like, I don't understand. What's wrong? Like, what do you need to see my
He's
passport
angry,
for?
his fists are balled up.
What's the game called?
Half-Life 1. Or just Half-Life.
But the guy, Wayne Radio TV, like his welcome video there, it just has it. And the first 39 seconds pretty funny.
It's what's getting him blown up right now. He's still working on it. It's pretty much, it's a weird let's play fashion of like beginning to end of a game, but he's adding these characters of people that are playing as NPCs that you would normally try to guide to protect them and stuff, but you wouldn't
So
keep
are
them through the whole
people
game.
NPCs, or the NPCs programmed to respond and react to whatever you do?
They're supposed to look like they're NPCs, and
Oh, but they're not actual NPCs.
but they're not. Yeah,
Oh,
they're.
okay,
I'm
that
blowing
makes
the
more
lid on the whole
sense.
thing, but they're actually people
Okay.
portraying as NPCs.
That's fine though, as long as they're playing their role. I think it's kind of cool.
But they break it. Like, they just make it seem like they're responding to him, doing dumb shit. I mean, they also act glitchy, so they'll just be like mid sentence, just kind of like explaining something in the story plot, and then going, "Hi, Gordon." Like you walk too close to them, and they're just like, "Oh, hi, Gordon."
So it's people pretending to be NPCs that are breaking the fourth wall, kind of.
Yes,
That's interesting.
yes.
That's a little meta, but
It's so funny. And then the fact that it's a game from the 90s
Yeah.
that is in VR. Someone made it in VR.
Huh.
So he's in VR while they're just, being like bots, just walking
yeah, and
around.
it's like it's just like scripted, basically.
No, it's all improv. It's improv
Yeah,
based
okay.
off of
I'm just trying to
the main
Get
storyline.
my wrap my head around that. That sounds
All right,
fun.
you can watch this and watch. It's 34 seconds and it's pretty good.
Wayne
Yeah, so-
Radio TV.
This guy's been hilarious to me.
He walks into this baby, and this is supposed to be Fallout VR, And he walks up to the baby and goes, "It's just one of those days. You don't want to wake up." And then he starts going, "Ah!" to the baby, and the baby and Fallout is just like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Oh my god.
His face is in the baby's face, screaming
Oh
at
my
him.
god, that is fucking great.
You should check him out.
Oh
Everyone
my
should check him
God.
out.
Wayne Radio
TV.
Yeah.
It's been my new form of entertainment so far, and he's still working on the Half-Life VR, but the AI self-aware thing.
I'll
It's
definitely
just
check
so
that
funny.
That's great.
out. Oh my god.
Great content.
Nico, you got
That's
anything
what's
else
been
that
getting
you
me through
want
this quarantine.
Yeah.
Not that I can think. Oh, I kind of want to get in. Yeah, I was sent a guitar, and it coincidentally is a PRS, and I just wanted to show it off real quick.
What?
So this is my
Check this bad boy out.
PRS.
Oh, hell yeah.
POS is the model. It's pretty good. I think.
What's the Paul something Smith?
I
Piece
still
of
gotta
shit.
look up the spec. Yeah, piece of shit. I mean PRS POS. Yeah, it feels
Paul
good.
of shit.
Plays well. Pretty sturdy. The neck is a little weird. And
Now, how did they get the licensing to get Nike on board?
It's Chinese made, so
yeah,
unfortunately it's
Chinese
a
made.
copy and it's a fake. So
It's-
you got scammed.
it's not Japanese.
Handmade, though, huh?
Not Japanese. Handmade guitar wood, like you had said in an earlier episode. But I think it's pretty close. I guess it's a Nike. Is this a guitar? I don't think it's a guitar.
Hold on a second.
I don't know. It looked
Play it
at a
out, play
glance. It
something
looked,
first.
hold on. Let me put it into my. You hear that?
Oh,
They kinda sound like Jaws.
Yeah. You hear that? The tone woods in that.
Oh, let me tune it.
Oh,
Hold on.
man.
Let me tune it. Let's try that now. Yeah, it's Jaws. Yeah, it's a guitar. Okay, cool. I just want to show that off real quick. I'm gonna put this back here.
Neat
my
find.
God. That's all I got.
Hope you didn't pay much for it.
All right, so let's get into some really good music. Fortunately for you, there are no PRSs in the making of this. But we are going to go over our album book review today for Alice in Chains' Dirt. And I want you guys to kick this one off and, tell me what you think, what you thought, notes,
Wait.
whatever.
Yeah.
Daniel, I
gave it
think
2
you
listens
more-
through.
Okay.
And it's my first time actually listening through it.
Okay?
You know, I've heard Bones and stuff like that on
Right.
radio or at bars
For
and
sure.
stuff. I've
So
heard
there's a
you
lot of
screaming
non-radio
songs
play.
in the middle of an alley at a venue
Yes.
with a stranger.
That was Man in the Box, yes. Good times, good times.
Yes, I just watched it. You know, I heard the whole song in screaming fashion. It was beautiful, but I think that was better than the original. But
Nah, well, maybe, yeah.
just the pure entertainment factor of it. But yeah, listening to it through it twice. I have to say the production for being back in '92, it's great. Sounds awesome. You know, guitars are full, drums
Yeah.
are impactful, vocals are searing in a way. You know, the leads really stuck out. I would say Sick Man was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, like it was weird. Like I like the tempo changes that it randomly would happen.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I don't know. It caught my ear, and I was just kind of like, "That's so weird," but I like it. And
Yeah.
Dirt had a really good chorus riff that I caught my ear too. And I was just like, "That's an awesome riff."
Tight, and
And then
vocal-wise,
Untitled, vocalize, I'm not a fan of it. Still, you know, personally, a little too grainy in my ear. You know, I could have. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely unique. I'll give him that. Like,
he's
haven't
one of
heard
the
that
greatest
before, but-
vocals. He is the voice of a generation. Unlike Mr. Matty fucking Mullins, he is the voice of a generation.
I'll give him he's unique, but not my taste. I don't know. I mean,
don't see how.
I'll showcase what I have this week, and you'll go, I don't understand how the fuck you like that shit. And
No,
I'll be
see,
like, that's
so,
just me.
so here's the thing, and you know, I do want to hear any more that you have in a second, and Nico, obviously. But one of the things that I find odd is, as a musician, you don't give a lot of shit chances, or you don't find the talent where talent is, or recognition where recognition is due.
We're talking about
I
an
think.
album. What are you talking? Why are you? You're like attacking
Wait,
Daniel.
what? Are you generalizing
Jeez.
musicians, or are you attacking me for sitting
It's
on an
because you
artist?
don't love it, dude. He's so
Yeah,
upset.
dude. Like, how the
I can see
fuck
this.
do
Oh,
you not like it?
This
that-
is subjective shit, Billy. This is like me saying, "Why do you not like hot sauce, Billy?" Fuck you.
I
Hot
do
sauce
like
is
hot
delicious.
sauce, though.
Why don't you like the really
Here we
spicy
go.
shit, Billy?
Because
The
I don't
mango
want my
habanero.
asshole to burn after I'm done with it.
Same reason why I don't like Alice in Chains. I don't want my asshole to burn.
Your asshole's not gonna burn. What I'm saying is, like, how do you not like the stuff though? Like, so you say you don't like
It's
vocalists. I
subjective,
get
Billy.
it. I get
Anyone
that.
can like
You
anything
don't
they
like
like.
vocals in music though, but how?
They
like,
don't.
you
There's
can't
no
even
vocals
find, like,
in acid jazz, Billy. That's why I listen to it. No.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, continue on. We're not gonna have
It's
this argument.
subjective.
Continue on.
You don't understand it.
No, I understand where somebody's ears are completely fucked because they can't like.
Jesus, Billy.
Like, you don't like vocalists at all, which is astounding to me.
No.
Like, how you can't find somebody with a talented voice. Look, forget Lane Staley.
I mean,
all
I
right?
like opera
that's
singers. I really like-
That's my
I like-
opera sing. All right. Anyway, Nico, what is your take on this album?
I think it's beautiful.
I
mean,
like
they
shit
hit a
where you
lot of
can't
nice
understand
notes.
what the fuck they're saying because they're not even speaking English.
Okay, so Daniel, overall synopsis.
Any more from the album, Daniel? Can't wait for your album. I can't wait to shit all
I'm afraid
over
to talk.
I liked Untitled too. That was cool. Good 20 seconds of
Yeah,
what
but
the fuck.
overall, did you enjoy the album or no?
No.
Why?
No. I mean, like, I don't know. It just felt like in my mind listening to it. It's like I feel like I'm just in some just dive bar, listening to a karaoke machine going. I can ignore it. Whatever, that was
So
it.
it's fine in the background basically, but you wouldn't actively.
Yeah, but I wouldn't like pump it into my ears and be like, yes, like no.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that makes sense. What did you grow up listening to this song, Billy? Oh, this album. Sorry.
This album, this band, yes.
Okay.
I definitely did.
So that and Daniel,
This
did you?
is shit I lived on.
No.
Okay, well, there you go.
I have a gap, of music
Mm-hmm.
where grunge, like anything '90s rock and roll styling of
Yeah.
it, or anything of metal and rock, I completely missed up until early 2000s when then I got reintroduced to '90s metal, like Metallica and shit like that.
Gotcha. So I thought, listening to this album, "Them Bones," that's the first song off the album, correct? Yeah. That I noticed overall, but I noticed it first in "Them Bones" that they have this interesting tendency with their writing that they go like the beginning. That isn't a chorus, they'll do an interesting time signature. So in "Them Bones," they do 7/8, which is basically 7/8 notes in a measure, and then it's basically going to start over, right? And then in the chorus, it goes to 4/4. The only reason I looked this up and noticed it was because most of the songs I noticed, except for maybe one or two, had this exact same structure, and it for some reason, dude, it rubs me the wrong way. When
Really?
you do a time signature that's like 3, 4, 7, 8, anything 6, 4, anything like that, 6, 8, and then you basically end every bar right with a pause or something like that. So it'd be like right, and you
To make up the
where
gap.
that pauses and then the new bar starts, right? And then they go into the chorus and it's 4/4, and it's to me it's a little more open. It's not as constricting feeling when you're listening to it. For some reason, those pauses at the end of every bar, which seemed to be a real trend with this band, or at least with this album, except for I'm trying to remember, they had a few songs that I truly enjoyed, but those were their big hits. I'm trying to remember Damn River.
So the big ones that were radio played were "Them Bones," "Down in a Hole."
Yes,
Rooster
thank
is
you.
probably
Rooster,
the most popular.
I really like
on
that
this.
song. I really like that song.
And "Wood."
Yeah.
The very last song are the big radio played ones.
Yeah.
From
Okay.
even still now, if there's a radio station that still plays something other than pop rock, they'll play those.
So to me, their big hits were like, oh, this is actually really cool, and they just they didn't do what they seemed to do in those other songs that I was talking about. That's probably just a personal hang up that I have, but that was
Right.
really bugging the shit out of me. But the vocals are good. I like the vocals a lot. I hate the lyrics. It's really kind of a downer. I'm not really into downer bands.
He's a downer.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
so it's
he killed himself.
It's so I understand, but like grunge, dude, like it's so like it's so on the nose grunge, you know what I mean? That it was just it was. But then again, I didn't grow up with this stuff, dude. Like I did not. I started noticing these songs, when I was a teenager or something. I don't even know, so I don't have any sort of.
when it was long
I don't have
gone.
familiarity with that shit, so I don't have any sort of nostalgic resonance. So yeah, it's Down in the Hole was good. The Rooster song was great. I hated.
Yeah, Rooster's written about Vietnam, so it's very, very.
It's like iconic.
Much a downer.
Okay. So yeah, but Sick Man, I cannot believe Daniel liked that song. That was my least favorite song on that fucking album, dude.
It was just weird. It was
I
the
like
only
it,
one that
but
caught my
I
ear.
agree,
Like I
it
said, everything was background
it's
music,
so
and then
different.
finally I was just kind of like, "What's this? What the hell's going on?"
Yeah, it was so out there. But I guess you got to have like a weird outlier song if you were a grunge band at the time. I don't know, dude. But yeah, the measure where the riffs stop for some reason at the end of every single bar. I hate that trend, and that is such a thing with this fucking band. But overall, vocals good, guitars. I could see why you like this band, Billy. Though I could see it because they're grunge, but they have chops, like to an extent. You know what I'm saying? And they let the guitar really shine through. The drums kind of just are kind of there. There are some really good grooves and fills, but they're so far and few in between. And he just really just holds down the pocket. You know what I mean? Just
No, I agree with that. He's just your timekeeper.
yeah, and that's
most of it.
It's good because
the
he knows
vocals
his
and the
place.
guitars are what shine.
Yes, exactly. But overall, yeah, musicianship good. Songwriting good. Like, yeah, they know how to write a really good song. I fucking hate this fucking album so much. I had a really hard time listening to it. But it's not because of the lack of talent or anything. It's just it's a genre I don't listen to. But not because I think it's shit. I just can't listen to it. Like, there's a lot of classical music. I used to listen to a lot of classical music when I was a kid, and there's a lot of classical music I fucking hate. And it's not because Stravinsky doesn't know how to compose. It's because I don't have an ear for that dissonant bullshit. I just can't listen to it. I need something nice on my ears, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely not nice. Some of the beginning of Down in a Hole might not be too bad, but so for me, obviously one of my favorite albums of all times, because unlike some plebs I can find where talent is, and that one of the greatest things about this band
Billy's
is the
just a
vocal
snob.
harmonies.
Yeah, harmonies are amazing.
The vocal harmonies are some of the best, especially like. So you don't get that much in metal, especially in a lot of the stuff that we are going to listen to, even if it is like a half scream, half clean kind of vocal band. You don't get those types of harmonies like that. And they're really eerie, like dark sounding harmonies. And I always really like that. Them Bones, radio song for sure. Damn That River. So what's actually really interesting is Damn That River, the last band my dad was ever in, that's the song that he used to try out with the band, which was kind of cool. It was him, and he was like 15 years older than all the other guys in the band, which was pretty funny. Rain When I Die is a song that I personally, like, I don't know what it is, but every time it comes on, I absolutely love it. I think it starts out awesome, and then it gets really fucking heavy towards the middle there. Rooster, we all know about. Wood is probably one of my favorite Alice in Chains songs of all time, which also has a really awesome bass line to start out the song, and then some more good vocal harmonies. So overall, I obviously love this fucking album.
It doesn't bum you out though.
No,
Really?
no, dude. It actually. So what it is, and for me, it's obviously a nostalgia thing, right?
Yeah.
So it brings me back to like simpler times myself. You know, I don't have, like, my wife claims she can remember something she did when she was 2 years old. I don't have a memory like that. I call bullshit on something like that myself, and I do it every time her and all of her sisters say it. But for me, it does bring me back to a lot of it's, like, Oklahoma from where I'm from. And just, like, obviously I'm a kid. Like, I don't have any responsibility in the fucking world. Like, once we moved to Maryland, I'm 10. I guess I started my best to start doing this, like, as an adult life as I could, you know, and, I kind of, I don't know. It was really weird once we moved to Maryland. Things seemed very, very different. But before that, when I lived in Oklahoma, things were obviously very different there. And I grew up around, I guess, my dad playing the shit constantly. He constantly played music, but we lived in a 3-story house when we were in Oklahoma. We moved to Maryland and we're living in a trailer. So it's a little hard to have a full band going on in a trailer. So I think it brings me back to just like times before then, and then also just like I know the talent's there, so I enjoyed the grooves and stuff that they put out. But it doesn't really bum me out. No, not at all.
It's probably because you have that nostalgic. I mean, I'm not trying to break it down.
I think that's exactly what it is. So like Now, Lane Staley died in early 2000s. I think it was like 2002. But like when Chris Cornell died recently from Soundgarden, listening to their stuff bummed me out because it was still fresh and I was an adult and I understood what happened. When Lane Staley died, I was 12 years old. Like that sucks. At the time, I didn't have a favorite band. I liked music. I listened to whatever the fuck was on. So it didn't hit me as hard when Lane Staley died. But when Chris Cornell died and just hearing his voice and his talent, that does make me sad. And just listen to some of his lyrics and shit like that, that would make me sad. I probably not so much anymore, but like the first year when he died, yeah, it really bummed me the fuck out. But no, this stuff is just like, I don't know, it's just real. We don't get that too much anymore. I feel like it's like, more real life problems where now, pop is nothing. I mean, I don't know what the fuck black metal or any of that shit right about, necrophagic shit, whatever. I don't know.
What? You're going off tangents I don't understand. Pop, black metal?
Yeah.
What?
No, pop. I'm talking about overall.
You haven't heard of that
lyrics to a
genre,
song.
idiot? You haven't heard that? Dumb
Yeah,
fuck.
pop black metal. And you
No,
thought you knew.
so overall, the album obviously holds up for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like it. I enjoy it. I cannot wait to hear Daniel's because I'm ready to fucking...
You're
gonna
supposed to
build
be
Oh, I mean, so
objective,
I got
dude.
two different choices. We're on a trend tangent here of listening to Grandpa's music. Do we want to stay on that route?
no.
Because I got an album that came out the exact same year that I would have preferred to listen to.
All right, what we got?
Alice in Chains. Or would you want something a little more newer?
That's it, dude. Whatever. Dealer's choice.
Your guys' choice. Your guys' choice.
I don't
Do you
care.
wanna
It's
stick
your
your
choice.
album?
It's your
brother.
album. I
Let's
chose
go.
mine.
I'm giving you two choices. I
at
can
least my
recommend
next
them
one
both.
you'll
Then
like.
I'll
I've
give
already
both.
got it ready.
You guys got two
don't
albums
believe
to
in
listen to if you
options.
don't stop me.
Nope.
Then
Pick it.
you got two choices.
God damn it.
Pick-
Just say the albums.
All right. Let's see. We got Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power, 1992. That's you actually want to hear the second one. All right. And now Nathrak.
No, we'll go with Pantera.
That's
Fucked up, dude. You should have said anal or whatever that band is.
it's Anal. It's Anal Nathrak.
Anal
That's what they're called.
Narthic. Okay, cool.
No,
We'll go with
it's
Pantera and
ANAAL.
listen to extremely gained out guitars and just say that's the
Dude,
way
Billy,
better album
stop
than
it.
Alice
What are
in
you
Chains,
doing?
but
Save
it's
it.
fine.
Jesus Christ. What's the album name?
I
Sorry.
just Vulgar Display
Thank
of Power.
you. Okay. This is going to be good for me because I only know a couple Pantera songs, so I'll have a fresh
Really?
palette with this. Yeah. I wasn't
Yeah, so this is
I never listened to it.
For Billy never listened to it. It's like, how can you have not listened to Pantera if you're a metalhead? You know,
Yeah, you've heard.
I have
like,
listened to this album.
All right. Well, let's save that. Put a pin in
Right.
that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going back into
What do you mean,
Pantera.
right? Just because I like Alice in Chains, see that's the
oh, yeah,
thing.
you
I
never
can
talk.
branch
Every time
out
we talk
and
about
like
Pantera,
other
you never
things.
like, I
There
don't
we go.
know. You're like, I'm like, what?
I like a lot of stuff. I don't shit on everything that isn't fucking black metal or
Yeah.
or something to that
Yeah,
effect.
tell 'em.
I like a lot of things. So yes,
You're
I
shitting
have
on black
heard
metal.
this.
You're talking
Yeah,
the
Billy.
exact opposite.
What's wrong with you?
I'm not though.
You're contradicting yourself.
I'm not.
So your
talking
statement's
shit.
invalid.
Why are you a
Boom.
liar?
I'm talking shit on acid jazz. That's what I've talked shit on.
You look like a
I
lizard.
don't fucking get it. What's in this album?
What?
Oh, for Vulgar?
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the track listing here. Mouth for War, New Level,
Mouth for
Walk.
War.
Like if you don't know Walk, This Love. Yeah, this is like their
Bangers all day.
aside from whatever Cowboys from Hell was on. Was it called
Cowboys from Hell?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm getting psyched.
Also another good album, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here. Of course, I've heard this.
Well, try to
shit.
keep it in your
No, I'm a
pants,
metal
Billy.
guy, but I don't listen to
Jesus.
music
Oh, okay.
that paved the way for what I listen to, which Alice in Chains was also a part of. Anything else from you guys
All
today?
right, purist. Okay, I hear you loud
I'm just
and
glad you
clear,
didn't take this personally.
Grandpa.
No.
All right, guys. Well, that about does it for us today. New book report, Vulgar Display of Power. Listen along with us, comment, and tell us what you think. Obviously, it's going to be fucking good, but yeah, that's unfortunate because I like a lot of things. If you like what you've seen today, subscribe, comment, like our posts. Please keep sharing. We really, really do appreciate it. And that's about it. I'm signing out. I am Chief Redbeard.
Nico.
Well,
Pleb. And I'm just kidding. All right, guys, we
Snob.
appreciate you guys. coming in today. Once again, we're remote, so hopefully this doesn't last forever, but we'll get back to it. Then you could actually see us choking each other on screen. But yeah, that's it. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.